This is Jake here with Paradigm Music, giving you a music lesson today. I like to call this the half-step rule. And this is a very cool thing to know with soloing to help you find good notes to use over the chords you're playing when you're improvising a solo. So the rule is pretty simple. All you got to know is that you are not supposed to play notes that are a half step above a chord tone. So let me show you here. I got a G major here. The first note of G major is a G, right? A half step above G would be A flat. So if I add A flat to this chord, it's going to be pretty ugly. Watch this. G major, A flat. Pretty nasty, right? Wouldn't use that note in my solo. The next note of G major would be a B, right? So a half step above B would be a C. So here I go, I got a G major. Okay, I had a C above it. Not the best sound to go for. And then finally, the last note of G major would be a D. I go a half step above D, that gives me E flat, and I get this. G major chord, E flat. Pretty gross. So the reason why this sounds bad is that you are creating a minor second, sometimes a minor ninth interval above a chord tone, and that is a really nasty interval. Typically, most of the time, it doesn't sound very good. Let me show you here. So if I got my root here, I go an octave up, I go a half step up, a lot of nastiness right there, right? However, it is important to note that you can, if you want, you can play notes that are a half step down from a chord tone, because that creates a major seventh. Check this out. I got G, I got my octave up. If I go a half step down, I get an F sharp here. That's a G major 7. And while that's a dissonant sound, that's nowhere near as bad as the minor second, minor ninth. So if you want to go a half step down, be my guest. But virtually, doesn't matter what chord you're playing over. If it's a major chord, minor chord, diminished chord, augmented chord, even seventh chords or chords with more extensions, whatever, this rule is really going to help you find the right notes to use over them. There are exceptions, of course. Just like anything in music, nothing is absolute. There are times where you can break this rule. For example, if a chord has two chord tones that's a half step apart, obviously this rule kind of becomes irrelevant for those notes. And then there are other chords that just you can break this rule on depending on the context of the song. But for the most part, I think this is really going to help your soloing, to help you find good notes to go towards, good notes to end your lines on. These are basically just notes you don't want to hang out on. If you do them really quick, you might be able to get away with them. But if you're hanging out on those notes, it's probably going to sound pretty bad. So I hope this helps you with your soloing. If you like my video here, please like, comment, and subscribe. I would love to hear more from you. I got plenty of other stuff coming up.